Hey YouTube, it's your boy Widgie here, coming at you with some more Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition, and I've just been notified that the PUP, the public update preview for March, has been released, and we've got all the juicy details for you. And my good old friend Harrison said, I can't wait for Widgie to rage about this, and I've already seen a couple of ridiculous things. So without further ado, let's get into this. And I've got to say, a caveat and a disclaimer is that there will most likely be some changes to this before the full release happens in March. But let's just have a look, and most of the time, 90%, 95% of the stuff here will be implemented into the full update for March. So let's get into it. So guys, we have a post here from Elite Rifleman. Thank you very much, dude, for posting this on the ESOC forum, and I'll put the link down below to it. And it says basically, hello explorers, we've got the new public update preview available, and we're just going to we're just going to jump. Sorry, we don't want to dump. Well, it depends if we need to do that, but we're going to be jumping first into the March update build 13.388. And we're not going to touch upon too much of this. I want to get into the juicy stuff, which is, of course, the balance changes. So let's just have a look. We do see this, though. This is nice. The Lakota and Haudenosaunee unit voiceovers have been updated. So I don't know what extent that has been updated by, because I have a mod that actually uses the original from the legacy version. There's a cool mod that you can do, and those voiceovers, are way better. Let's have a look at graphics. Reduce the radius of the whales swimming animation. Okay. Some UI changes here. I'm not going to go over those too much. Blockhouses now have keybinds available for the Chinese banner armies. Lobbies and matchmaking. New custom AI mods are now supported in multiplayer. Casual lobby settings are no longer retained when starting a custom ranked game. And selecting Team 4 will now probably be displayed to other players in the lobby. Okay. Nothing major there. Some gameplay fixes or changes. I'm not going to go through too many of these. I'm just looking at them now. There's some tons of AI changes, guys. So if you do get involved with the AI a lot, I play very competitive, so it's mainly just against, other human beings. But of course, feel free to check all of that out. Now, we are going to get to the Civ balance. So let's have a look at the general first, and most of this is for like native units and stuff like that. We can see there's one that pops out to me, which is the Sudanese Dervish, which are really good skirmish infantry. They throw knives, and we can see here 50 food, 45 wood. Basically, the wood cost has slightly been increased for them, which is interesting. And we have the Peruvian Legion as well. The grenade attack range has been reduced on those, and the area damage as well, so a nerf to them as well. Let's have a look at specifics here. So Aztec, with the Wall of Skulls, now grants 1 skull knife each 3 you have lost so far, changed from 2. So this is obviously the whole Skull Knight build where you try and get to age 4 and you get access to those really juicy cards that you get, and you can essentially just keep spamming Skull Knights, and you have them in your main composition, and they can be extremely deadly to pretty much anything that they touch. So we can see here there is a specific nerf to one of the cards here. And another one, there's Great Temple of, I'm not even going to pronounce that, support card. Skull Knight speed has improvement has been reduced, and that is really significant, guys. Look at that speed. That is a 50% reduction on this card. So that is absolutely like monumental. And I casted a few games of Aztec players doing this, where you get this support card and the Skull Knight speed is so good. And I think they go up to 4.5 speed, I believe, but I'm not too sure. If you get all of the upgrades, I think they can get to around 4.5 speed, which is absolutely mental. But don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. Moving on to next is the British. Now, this is the thing that really got my my blood boiling here, because, the Brits are pretty much an S-tier civ. They are one of the best civs at the moment. A lot of people, top 10, top 20 players are playing them. And I see the Brits a lot in all the games I cast, the high-level games, and they are incredibly versatile, incredibly strong. Their boom is ridiculous, and their units are of high quality as well. So there isn't too many downsides with going with the Brits. That their opening build order and stuff like that is relatively straightforward. And when I saw this, I was very shocked, because back in February or January update, they actually nerfed the mana cost. But as we can see here, they have reinstated some of it. So the cost has now been reverted to 135 from 140. So they did increase the mana cost, and then they've dropped it back to 135. The logistician here, age 1 to 2, is now updated. So you get 1 Arsenal wagon and a free Arsenal technology. So that's a buff. We've got all new cards for the British that are on the way. So this is what they're starting to do to try and sort of add some variety and put some more content into the existing civs. So for February, it was the Chinese update where we had 9 new cards. Now March is going to be the Brit update where we get all new, brand new cards. Some of them are probably OP and broken. Let's have a look at a couple of them. So the new one here is an infinite card, Britannia in age 4. Ships a mighty battleship. It costs 1,000 coin the next time you send it. I have no idea about how powerful this ship is. I haven't looked into it. The next one here is the Greenwich time. Now, this is a really interesting card, and I don't know if it's good or not, but it ships a trading post wagon in age 1, and then any more you put down improves the politician and technology research time by 20%. Note, trading post research speed improvement works like other auras, scales from current rates or stats, not base. So trading post research speed improvement works like other auras, scales from current rates or stats, not the base. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it was. So what happens is that it'll increase 20% originally, and then there'll be a 20% increase on that original 20%. It won't go like 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%. I don't believe that's the way I'm reading it. It's sort of what is it? It's compounding. If you know your maths and you know your stats, it's compound. It's not simple. That's similar to how interest rates work and stuff like that. So I believe that's what it means. It's saying it scales from the current, not the base. So if you have 4 wagons, it's not going to be 80% increase from your original. You're not going to have an 80% increase on that. It's more likely going to be, I don't know, maybe like, I can't do the maths, maybe like 35% overall, 40%. So basically, it's not really worth building other trading posts, and you're not really going to build a lot of trading posts with Brits anyway. So maybe just going for this card is actually really good. Maybe you ship this first in age 1 if you want to do a VC boom. I don't know, maybe it's worth it. You get 20% reduction on your age up and technology. I mean, that's crazy. Next one is the Rangers, age 4 here. Longbowmen are fully replaced with Rangers at the barracks, home city, and on the map. Rangers use a rifle instead of a bow to counter heavy infantry, but have less range. All Longbowmen upgrades also improve Rangers. So I've got no idea, once again, the level of these Rangers, how good these Rangers are. I've got no idea compared to the Longbowmen, but this could definitely be used potentially in Treaty. I mean, it could also be used in Supremacy and team games, but there's a good age 4 card there. New Siege Archery enables Longbowmen to siege buildings from a long range with fire arrows. What? Which inflicts burning damage over time. Note, has 22 range and the same DPS as the ordinary siege attack. Additionally, each arrow inflicts 1 burning damage per second for 10 seconds. Okay, so the only thing that changes is the arrow inflicting 1 burning damage per second for 10 seconds. Enables to siege buildings from a long range, which inflict burning damage. Note, it has 22 range and the same DPS as the ordinary siege attack. Okay. Right. I don't know whether the wording's kind of strange there, but I think it means that their siege range is the same as their normal range of 22. And then also you get a burning damage per second, a DOPS on there. Interesting. I'm not too sure about that. I don't know whether they've worded that right, or maybe I'm just being stupid. I don't know. Next card is this one is a big one for me. You know, I mean, this just shows that this is just a pure buff. A pure buff. You know, we see here this infinite 8 Longbowman card in age 3 has replaced the one that has a current shipment of just 1. This card replaces the current Fortress Age shipment of 8 Longbowmen that can be shipped only once. So this is a pure buff, and I think this is ridiculous because I see this in quite a few decks, and now that this is unlimited, it's just pure buff there. So I don't understand why that was necessary. Glorious Revolution with the arrival of the range unit, and to encourage new ways to play, the texts have been updated. Thin Red Line is now free, now affects all infantry, previously just heavy infantry. Black Watch 1,000 food, grants 8 Highlanders, no change. New Rogers Rangers, 800 food in age 2. You ship 5 Rangers and replace your current longbow with them too. Longbowman shipments now grant Rangers instead. Note, does not allow Rangers to be trained. Right, I see what you're saying. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Once again, I have no idea of the effectiveness of these Rangers and how good they are. But 800 food commitment in age 2 is kind of crazy. The good old Virginia Company card is adjusted, so now reduces Manor House wood cost by exactly 45 rather than it being 47.25. So a slight nerf there, but in the grand scheme of things, it's like 2 wood a Manor House. If you're going to build 20 houses, maybe you're saving 40. You're losing 40 wood. I mean, it's not really the end of the world, is it? It now also reduces Manor House build XP bounties in line with the cost reduction, does not change the kill XP. Okay, so that's another nerf. So you don't get as much XP from building it because it's cheaper. Okay, and the Yeoman here now also increases Longbowman bonus damage against heavy infantry by 0.25, moved from the Imperial Longbowman upgrade, which no longer grants this bonus. Okay, so another sort of potentially buff, I'm not entirely sure there. But I mean, overall, guys, for Brits, I mean, come on. I mean, the logistician change, the Manor House now being cheaper once again, going backwards. We're getting this Infinite 8 Longbowman card. You know, we've got something in the mix here with these Ranger units. I'm not entirely sure. We've got this Greenwich time that could maybe be used. I don't know. That seems kind of crazy as well. So, I mean, lots of different... They're trying to encourage different ways of playing the Brits. But what they're also doing is what I'm seeing is they're just making them stronger. Like they're just improving the current British strategy openings. They're just making them even stronger, which doesn't really make much sense to me. And I just feel like I'm going to be seeing Brits on the ladder a lot more, and they are already a very hard civ to play against, but I don't know. Anyway, let's look at Chinese, one of my favorite civs at the moment. And yeah, baby, we've got a further buff to China. I don't think China needs another buff. I think the changes that happened in February were good enough. It offered a lot, but it looks like they're willing to give more to China. And look at this. This is a huge increase as well. The good old German relations, the Banner Army food cost reduction has now been improved further from 15 to 20%. So guys, that is like a 30% increase right there. You know, from 15 to 20, that's how much of an increase it is. If you use your maths, that is quite significant. And that's gonna, I think what they're trying to do with that, they want to encourage people to play more H2 China rather than just going like your straight FF or your semi-FF. They want to get people using China in H2, and I've started to do that quite a lot, and this is going to help me even further, you know, being able to get my units out, my banner armies out a lot quicker. So I like the look of that. Was it necessary? I don't think it was personally. I think it was fine. I don't understand why China needs a further buff there, but whatever. Cards, the Koshinga cost increased to 1,000 coin from 500. The rate of fire improvement reduced to 20% from 20. I'm not too sure what that card was. What is that card? What is the... Oh, it's the Iron Troop card. Oh, it's that ridiculous Iron Troop card that gives you that huge rate of fire increase, and they've actually doubled the cost of that. Jesus Christ. Okay, so there's no way I'm going to be using that card now. Doubling the cost of that, that's insane. Moving on, let's have a look at the Ethiopians, units and buildings. So the RAS, the speed has been reduced to 5.75 from 6 point. That's a huge reduction in speed. Increased by +1 upon reaching the commerce. Damage multiplier against Guardians has been reduced as well. And I believe these guys are the explorers, right? Because I don't really know. Oh no, it's ranged cavalry, sorry. Oh yeah, it is the hero. It's the hero unit. Yeah. So speed reduced of the hero, and they do get an increased speed when you go into commerce. And it looks like, yeah, so it looks like it's going to be a little bit harder to get your treasures. And I think that's the same with Hausa as well. The Emir, which is the explorer, once again, has got the same nerf there. And the good old Lafidi Knights, extremely strong cavalry in Age 2, have dual resistance, so ranged and melee resistance. And you can see here the ranged armor has been significantly reduced there. That's a huge nerf from 30 to 20%. And also cost increase as well. You can see there that the extra food required And the training time has been adjusted accordingly as well. So, ouch. The Lefidis are, I think the Lefidi card is still good, but maybe the decision to train Lefidis after that might change. I'm not too sure. The Rumfus Riders, that's the card that I was just about to mention. Now down from 5 to 4. So Hausa getting an absolute killing here as well. Hand Cavalry hit points has been moved to Fortress Age. And the Durbar Parade has been moved to Industrial. So huge nerfs all round for Ethiopia and Hausa as well. More for Hausa than Ethiopia. The Ottomans, they're changing the Ottomans. Improved buildings has been moved to the Industrial Age from the Exploration Age. Wow. Okay. I never really use this card, but I think people that turtle quite a lot would probably use this. But I don't know. I don't know how much of an impact that's going to be on some people. For me, not really. I never really use this. But yeah, I don't know what their aim was changing this, but I'm sure you guys can let me know in the comments below. The Swedes. We haven't heard much of the Swedes recently. One of the sort of lowest tier civs at the moment. Let's have a look. Units and buildings. Settler build limit has been reduced to 90. Okay, that's another nerf to a civ that really isn't that played that much at the moment. Cards, hand unit attack now only improves attack of relevant mercenary units by 7.5. That's down from 15, and also down from 15 on the hit points as well. Wow, okay, so yeah, more nerfs there coming for Swedes. The Japanese, the shrine is being reduced again. Jesus, they are smacking the shrine. I remember a good few months ago now, they really reduced the shrine HP, like seriously reduced it. And now it's being reduced from 1400 to 1300, which is absolutely just awful for Japanese. The Mexicans, once again, another nerf. Insurgents reduced from 11 to 10. Unit line of sight improvement has been reduced. No longer affects walls. It's another nerf on that card there. The Spanish, very, very strong civ. Let's have a look. The War Dog. Okay. Fortress Age hit point improvement reduced. So this is something that Harrison actually mentioned, I think, not too long ago when he was doing his civ tier list. He mentioned about the War Dogs and how effective they are for how much they cost. And these are the dogs that are trained from the Explorer. And it's saying that the Fortress Age hit points of them, the improvement, because they naturally tech up, has been reduced to 55%, which is a massive drop. And the Industrial Age hit point improvement has been increased. Okay, note, attack improvements have been unchanged. Okay. The Spanish Gold, that's a very common card that's always used when going for like FFing and stuff like that. It now is only delivering 350 rather than 360. So a little bit of a nerf there. Nothing too huge for Spanish. They sort of come around it unscathed. The US, let's have a look. US, let's have a look. Cards, New Jersey seaports in Age 4 now improves the amount of resources shipped by infinite crates. Crate cards by 400, down from 900. No change for crate cards, which will be sent once. Okay. Wow. And before I wrap up and summarize on those civ balances, let's just have a look quickly at these. We do have random maps. We've got 2 new regions. Arabia, an open map with sparse resources and a circular trade route. And we have, 2 maps there. Map set update. Standard map set has been changed. They've added Arabia. They've removed Yukon. And a few changes, more changes to the maps, which is always good to see. I'm not going to go through them too much, though. Improved the ping flare system. Based on player fit, and I believe that the current ping system could be improved. We have updated the ping flare. The implementation is currently in beta. May subject to change. Okay. So they changed the way that you can ping stuff on the map. Interesting. And there's a photo mode as well. Wow, this is actually really good. Hang on. Ooh, maybe we can... Okay, photo mode is accessible through the pause menu. This feature is currently in beta, maybe subject to change. I wonder if you can get really close to the units with this photo mode. That would be really good for like thumbnails and content creation. You could get really, really close, because at the moment you can get pretty close, but not like super, super close to the units. So I wonder if this photo mode is going to be really good. That's actually really nice to see. And also if you take photos in the photo mode, it will go to the screenshots area. Okay, I'm going to have to try that out. That sounds really good. And that's really good for like when you do replays and stuff like that and you want to take pictures. And Harrison there, look, put in his first comment 18 minutes ago. I'm scared we have our first Uber tier civ of the Brits. Yeah, so Brits were still too strong after the 140 nerf. The obvious fix is, of course, to do all of this, which I've mentioned. Yeah. So it's kind of, yeah, their Brit changes are completely unnecessary, says Patrick here. So not looking too good. People aren't too happy about the Brit changes, and we're going to see how it's going to play out and see if all of those changes are actually going to happen in the March update, because this is just a preview. Some things do change, but I'm not too sure if it is. So kind of just a roundup on that really, guys, is that it looks like the Brits and China got some good buffs. Brits got ridiculous buffs with brand new cards and just more versatility offering to them. They're already a seriously good civ, and I want to know what the logical reason was around reducing mana cost even further and reverting it. I honestly do not understand why. I don't know, maybe a few people, individuals kicked off about it and they changed it. I have no idea. So I would love to know, guys, in the comments below what your thoughts are. And of course, if you found this interesting, useful, and you want to put a comment up, go on the ESOC forum. You can go on the Steam forums as well. Let them know what your sort of opinion is, what your view is. Make sure to let them know. So thank you very much, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to drop a like if you did, and I'll catch you in the next video or the next stream. Catch you later, guys.